Welcome back to the Kilowatts. Today we're with my brand new Tesla Cybertruck, and I've driven it 2,500 miles so far. So today I'm going to be answering all the questions you might have about the brand new Tesla Cybertruck. Let's get into it. Absolutely, this is the toughest truck that you can buy. We've done a lot of things with it. Obviously, they've said that it's bulletproof. That applies to the body panels here. With the glass, I mean, you could throw a tennis ball at it. You could throw, I don't know, if you get hit by a golf ball. And we're gonna try it eventually. Obviously, the steel ball challenge, but stay tuned for that in a future video. Separately, you can kick it, but look out because you can get some little micro scratches if you're not careful. A lot has been said about the Cybertruck's sharp edges, and honestly, if you're just looking at the metal, it's not gonna cut you just rubbing your hand on it. However, there's other areas to be concerned about, like maybe you would close the front trunk on yourself, which maybe you'd be worried about, but there's not really a concern there, unless you put your fingers in the worst place possible. That's gonna hurt. For several years now, Elon has been hell-bent on reinventing the wheel, and I like the wheel. I like the Model 3 wheel, I like the Model Y wheel, but then they did the yoke. The yoke was great in concept. It allowed more screen real estate so you're not blocked by the top arch of the wheel, but it prevents you from holding it here, which, like from a safety perspective, should be better. You're holding it at the sides, but in reality, it's not great for when you need to turn it. And yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of honestly, the thickness here and how it wears over time. As well as these touch capacitive buttons, which don't really provide enough feedback, and the lack of a center horn. But they fixed that with the Cybertruck. Finally, Elon's team brought us the Squircle, which is a version of the yoke, but it actually has the top arch here. It turns really easily and has all the right positions for your hands, including the top hold here, nice side holds anywhere you want, and in the bottom, the buttons actually have a bit of travel and there's a center horn. I'm actually really a fan of the Squircle, and especially with drive-by-wire, you only have to turn it ever 180 degrees one way or 180 degrees the other way. In terms of comfort, I'm 5'9", 5'10", and incredibly comfortable here in the front seat. I've got the seat lifted all the way up and still a couple inches above me. Obviously, I could lower the seat and have even more space. And yeah, absolutely very comfortable. One thing to call out though, the way that this headrest hits you is that if you're a little too short, it hits you right kind of firmly in the back of your head. I've had a friend who's about 5'5" complain about that in the passenger seat. Let's head to the back. Here in the back seats, again, I'm very comfortable, plenty of space for my legs. At 5'10", I've got a couple of inches maybe to the roof there. If I slouch a little bit, now I've got a lot of space. But yeah, these rear seats all the way 3 wide are pretty comfortable. We've had 3 large people back here, and if you don't have anyone back here, you can get additional storage. Just pull this, and then I'll pull this one. And now I can just walk right through. So we know Elon suggested that you could remove the rearview mirrors on this vehicle, and while you can see out the rearview mirror when the tonneau is open, obviously when you're driving for range, you might want to have that closed. You do also have the rearview mirrors there, but look at this rearview mirror here. So when you actually go to turn the car, when you use the turn signals, it'll switch which camera is actively used. And to be honest, I just don't think that's enough to be able to justify removing these big mirrors from the car. As far as car camping goes, this is a 6-foot bed, but unfortunately, that glass doesn't go down, so you're not gonna be able to get AC to the back of the vehicle. So with the Cybertruck, there's a lot that can be debated in terms of looks, in terms of features, but really there's a few things I don't think are up for debate, and I'll show you one of them. In my opinion, it's made to look like it's welded Cybertruck. This is the cheesiest thing they possibly could have done. But even worse, they did the same thing here on a panel that should be metal. Oh yeah, it can tow. I mean, your range is gonna take a pretty big hit. I haven't had a chance to test that yet, but Navier, this electric flying boat company, let me pull their boat out of the water. There was no slipping on the ramp, and we got it back home safely in Alameda. There's been a lot of talk online about how to clean your Cybertruck. I've taken this to a couple car washes, but for fingerprints, I have found that Windex really is the best. Impressive. This dual motor Cybertruck is supposed to get 340 miles of range to a charge. So far, driving mostly 70 to 80 miles per hour on the highway, we're only seeing about 240 or 250 miles of range before we have to stop to charge. So definitely keep in mind the square of the acceleration of the wind. I don't know. Point is, your wind resistance is not linear. The faster you're going, the more wind resistance you're going to face, and the less distance you're going to be able to cover with any vehicle, but specifically with the Cybertruck. Tesla Cybertruck has 5 outlets. 1 240 volt and 4 110s. Because of the shape of the cable, we'll just plug one of those in here. And then up to the front, we're plugging this one down here. And finally, one more in here. And just like that, we're charging all 4 of these Teslas simultaneously. So the problem I have with charging a Cybertruck is not in the cable being stretched too thin, but it is in knowing how far to pull back to actually stop. I kind of get nervous because of this wide angle camera. Let's go ahead and stop there, but I'm pretty close. And with it backed up all the way, I should be able to just plug right in without straining the cable too much.
It's a nice ride, bro.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I love this ride. It's nice.
Well, this is obviously subjective, but yeah, it got a lot of attention. As we were driving across the country, pretty much every 4th or 5th car was filming us. People were coming up to us at Superchargers while we were filming this video. This car gets a lot of attention. It's the most exciting car on the road, and surprisingly, a lot of people didn't know what it was. They don't even know that it's a Tesla. So yeah, this thing gets a lot of attention, and sure, over time that'll be lost as there's thousands of these on the road, but at this early stage, it's an attention magnet for sure. Now, I'd love to tell you that owning the Cybertruck has been absolutely flawless, and for the first 2,500 miles, it was. However, we're at about 3,000 miles, and there's actually some error codes popping up. There's a rear wheel steering issue that's causing a whole bunch of warnings, stability control warnings, regenerative braking warnings. So actually, as soon as we finish filming this video, we're gonna be taking it into service and figuring out what's going on, and hopefully they can fix it quickly and put it back on the road, but we'll definitely have to keep you updated on that.